Hello, my name's Tracy Cho. I'm here today to offer you some tips and tricks on how to grill a better steak during these summer months. As many of you have probably had your fair share of steaks in the past, we've all had our fair share of overcooked or tough, gritty steaks in the past that are often caused just by a couple easy to do steps that most people don't know or don't see the value in doing. So today I'm here to help you better understand those tips and tricks and give you an explanation on how it produces a better steak. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do a live demonstration on video cooking the steaks. I tried to do that, however, with the lighting outside, the video quality was bad. However, I was able to capture pictures of the steaks I made yesterday, and I am going to be using those to better help show you my tips and tricks. First and foremost, we want to start off with a good seasoning on the steaks. However, the very first tip for any good grilling barbecue is you want to start the grill before you even start prepping your meat. You want to have your grill at the temperature so it is full heat at that temperature when you're ready to cook. And immediately after you start the grill, you want to take your steak out. You want your steak to be at a room temperature. You can season it right away, but before it goes on the grill, you want it at room temperature. Here you can see I have a picture of a thin sliced New York strip that it is. If you can notice a little bit right here, you can start to see where the salt and pepper, the juices from the steak is kind of absorbing it in. It has a wet texture to it. That is what you want for when you throw it on the grill because it's at room temperature. The seasoning, whatever you use, is going to be more into the meat. Here's another picture of a different steak I cooked yesterday, which is a porterhouse T-bone. Uh, Basically, it's part, if you see up here, you can see the New York strip, and then over here is more of the filet mignon meat. It's a little tougher. It's from the soft loin of the cow animal, so it's a medium in the tender scale. However, it's still pretty good in flavor and easy to get a soft texture in your meat. Here is the beast that we'll be cooking these steaks on. It's a Holland grill. I love this grill. It's a low heat, but it gives it an oven type even heat cook around it all. This is it closed because after you got your grill preheating, you top to keep the you want to shut the top to keep the heat in while it's preheating. Now here you see empty grill, and what I'm going to do is, if you see with my mouse, I'm going to put one of the steaks here and another here. There's no reason to put them in the center or the side. However, the reason I'm doing this is after I flip the steaks, I want to put them on a different part of the grill that has not been touched from the heat. So the steak that's here, if I flipped it and kept it in the same spot, the heat is going to be a lot lower here because it already absorbed into the meat. So I want to put it into a hotter place to give it a equal cooking time and make it a more even cook. And as you can see here with this photo, this is where I have the steaks put on the side. You close the top, and these being a thin slice, they only cooked about 3 minutes before I flipped, and that was actually a little too long. I closed the lid, waited about 3 minutes. I looked, you can see here on the steak, on the sides, it's starting to cook over and you see a little darker texture in the raw meat. That's usually when you know you got a good medium well cook in. Same with the other one. This is a little more detailed picture. You can see it's still raw, but it's a little darker. You can see the cook lines on the edge. That is about where you want to be when you go to flip your steak if you wanted a medium rare. As you can see, the heat with this grill didn't get too hot for the sear mark, so you don't have that burnt marking on there, but you still have the indents of the shield of the grill. And here I also, as you can tell, I took it from the side to the center. Like I said, it's to put it into a hotter section than area of the grate it was. So this way it gets a more even cook. And once again, I closed it about 2-3 minutes, opened it back up. I flipped it again just to check the other side. You're not going to really get much of the grill marks on this side because we had it coated with all of our seasoning, but you can tell it's been cooked. It's ready to go. So we're going to pull them off. Now, getting a little ahead of myself here for the cut, because after you cook a steak, you want to take it off for about 5 to 10 minutes and let it rest. This will help for the meat itself to absorb a steak. So if you've had a steak before that you ordered at a restaurant or you cooked yourself and you cut it right away, you're going to notice a pool of juices on your plate. If you have other stuff on the plate, it's going to get everything soggy. It's going to be a mess. You don't want that. So usually wait 5 to 10 minutes depending on the thickness of the steak. Let it simmer, let the juices absorb into the meat. And one other thing too, when you're cutting the steak, you can't really see it in this photo, but I have the knife in an angle. There's no particular degree of an angle you want. You just want to have it into an angle. That way any of the juices that come out after you cut still stay on top of the meat to give it a little more tenderness, juicy, buttery flavor. And of course, like I said, these thin strips cooked a little longer than I wanted. However, I'd like a little bit of pink right here, but this is just beyond that, so it's still good. It was very tasty, as you can see in the next video. Me stuffing my face, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna get that off because it's probably not appeasing to all of you. And that is basically it. The next type of test I would like to, or tip to give you guys, is if you're going to practice on your cooking skills, getting it to the right temperature and all that, you don't want to start with the steaks like I did, the New York strip or the porterhouse. They're better quality meat. You're going to get a more tender meat. However, you're going to pay more for it. You want to go to the flank steak, skirt steak. They're the cheaper ones. You can usually get a 3-4 pack at a grocery store for $5. Those you want to cook at a lower heat, low and slow for the more tougher cuts. But after you get the hang of it, how you want to cook it, then upgrade up to the more expensive meat that has the better flavor and it's more tender. I hope this helped you guys a lot. I used one in this video, and I just said it, so I'm probably going to try to edit it out. If not, there's a mistake. No big deal. I hope you guys learned something from this video. I sure enjoyed making it for you, and I will see you guys again later. Thank you.